KUAM TV 8, home of the Milan Cortina Olympics. Coverage begins February 6, 2026. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at Matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Taking the politics out of pay, the governor has unveiled a plan to put an independent commission in charge of setting elected officials' salaries. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with more on this coming up.
Guam SNAP recipients have begun receiving emergency food assistance funds, but are being urged to spend it wisely. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the uncertainty despite a federal court order.
And we'll take you downtown to see a one-of-a-kind event to empower island youth for teens by teens.
Coming from the KUAM studios in Harmon to all Guamanians worldwide, Hafide, and thanks so much for tuning in. This is KUAM News Primetime. I'm Jason Salas, and these are tonight's top stories. Well, a new proposal from your governor aims to take the politics out of pay, as Luliang Guerrero has introduced a measure to create a Guam elected officials compensation commission, a move that she believes will bring fairness, transparency, and public trust back into the conversation about how much our elected officials should be paid. It's tonight's top report with Nevaeh Anderson.
Governor Luliang Guerrero has sent another bill to the Guam legislature, this time proposing to establish the Guam Elected Officials Compensation Commission. The bill seeks to create what the governor calls a, quote, permanent independent process to evaluate and recommend compensation for elected officials based on facts, not politics. It points to salary disparities across branches of government, noting that village mayors currently receive higher compensation than senators, despite lawmakers' broader legislative responsibilities. It also states that the salaries of the governor and the lieutenant governor, quote, do not align with the level of responsibility they bear in overseeing the operations of the entire government of Guam. Under the proposal, a 5-member commission would be formed, made up of the director of GOA, the president of the Guam chapter of the Society for Human Resource Management, the public auditor, the chief justice, and the chairperson of the Civil Service Commission, or their designees. Their task, conduct salary reviews and recommend adjustments for our elected officials. Within 6 months of the law's enactment, the commission would submit its findings to the governor and the speaker of the legislature. And if lawmakers take no action within 45 days, the commission's recommendations would automatically take effect at the start of the next legislative term. In a letter to the Speaker, Governor Luliang Guerrero wrote, the question of how much elected officials should be paid has been, quote, clouded by mistrust, politics, and perception. She adds that even justified discussions about pay have been seen through the lens of self-interest, quote, weakening our ability to have an honest conversation about the value of public service. She states the independent data-driven commission will, quote, take a hard look at the structure of compensation in the executive and legislative branches to ensure that pay reflects responsibility, workload, and public accountability. The governor believes this reform establishes a simple but vital principle that no elected official should ever set their own salary. And in a press release, Liang Guerrero added, quote, this proposal will depoliticize this process once and for all by removing salary decisions from those who directly benefit from them. By removing politics from the equation, we strengthen the integrity of our institutions and reaffirm that public service is about duty, not self-interest. The measure will now head to the legislature for review, where a public hearing will be scheduled to give the community a chance to weigh in on whether Guam's elected officials should get a raise and who should decide it. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Well, the federal shutdown has now reached its 33rd day, and millions who rely on SNAP public assistance for food are left in limbo. A pair of federal judges have ordered the Trump administration to use contingency funding with which to distribute money to SNAP recipients, but when that will happen remains unclear. Some states and territories like Guam have been using emergency funds to bridge the gap, but as Mitsuki Hirayama reports, with no telling when a deal will be reached, residents are advised to make that money stretch.
We are now approaching the longest shutdown in American history.
Democrats' fault.
With the ongoing federal shutdown on track to become the longest in history, SNAP funding has run dry for millions of families across the nation this weekend, including 42,000 residents in Guam. Two federal judges ruled on Friday that the Trump administration must use some $5 billion in contingency funds to continue funding SNAP during the shutdown, but millions are left in limbo as President Trump seeks legal clarity. His administration argues that funding is meant for natural disasters and wouldn't cover some $8 billion needed for November benefits. Trump was given until Monday to report back to the courts on how his administration will comply with its orders to fully or partially fund the food assistance program. In an interview with Norah O'Donnell on 60 Minutes on a wide range of issues, Trump said his plan to end the shutdown was, quote, keep voting.
Oh, it's going to get so.
How?
We'll get it so. Eventually, they're going to have to vote.
You're saying the Democrats will capitulate?
I think they have to. And if they don't vote, that's their problem.
As Democrats and Republicans continue to blame each other for the impasse, some local governments have started to bridge the gap. Guam has stepped up, authorizing $13.3 million in emergency local funds for the general food assistance benefits. Half of those funds were distributed to EBT cards on November 1st, with Public Health prepared to fully disperse the rest by mid-November if the shutdown persists and SNAP benefits are still unavailable. But with no deal in sight, Public Health is advising to make that money stretch. The department provided answers to frequently asked questions on SNAP and the shutdown, saying they understand the concern and uncertainty this may cause. They encourage families to make the most of the food assistance benefits by choosing foods that freeze well, such as meats and vegetables, stocking up on canned goods and shelf-stable items, prioritizing foods like rice, beans, and pasta, and preparing filling meals like soups, chili, and casseroles. Meantime, while Guam Congressman James Moylan welcomes the court's decision and the Trump administration's right to seek legal clarity, he says, quote, hunger should never be a consequence of political gridlock. For Public Health's full FAQ, just visit this story on KUAM.com. Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Thanks so much, Mitsuki. In other news tonight, the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority is hosting public outreach events this November as part of the more than $500 million Fix in 6 program. Gora says the outreaches are aimed to arm potential applicants with the knowledge and tools needed to prepare for the upcoming application periods. There will be a presentation Q&A session on Wednesday the 5th, starting at 6 p.m. at the Guam Museum Theater. Then on Saturday the 15th, it'll happen at high noon until 2 p.m., and there will be an info material distribution event at the Guam Premier Outlets in Tamuning. Now, Gura does say participation in at least one outreach event is required for potential applicants seeking one-on-one technical assistance. Yet this requirement does not apply to potential housing program applicants who will be assisted individually through the CDBG-DR housing initiative. Gura Deputy Director and Grant Manager Fernando Estevez says the disaster recovery funds represent an investment in our island's people and future, saying, quoting him now, these funds will help build safer, more affordable homes, strengthen public buildings and systems to better serve our community, and spark the economic resurgence our island needs to thrive. Well, we are just getting started, my friends, so please stay tuned. The live stream continues right after this. You're watching KUAM.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Honey, do you want some milk? Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
You're watching Prime Time. Last week, forecasters were keeping a close eye on a pair of developing systems, and now one weather system has officially become Typhoon 31W after passing north of Yap. That system has since strengthened to an 80-mile-per-hour typhoon as it moves towards the Philippines, easing monsoon impacts for Yap and Palau. But attention has now shifted closer to home, with the second disturbance having weakened southeast of Guam, having re-emerged as a new system known as Invest 90W. Satellites and scatterometer data show that strong southwesterly winds sweeping across parts of Yap and Chuuk. While models differ on the exact path, most point to a track between Yap and Guam by mid to late week. The NWS says residents should stay alert for possible heavy rainfall and gusty winds beginning Wednesday as the system continues to organize. Well, 2 decades ago, in other news, one teenager's brave fight against cancer became a catalyst for change. Natasha Perez's strength and spirit moved a community, inspiring lawmakers to act. Her legacy lives on through the Natasha Protection Act, a law born from loss but rooted in love, protecting countless lives but keeping Guam's public spaces smoke-free. And 20 years later, her story continues to inspire through a new multimedia project, ensuring Natasha's courage and her cause are never forgotten. Jonah Goncharfers has more.
At just 11 years old, Natasha Perez was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a rare and aggressive bone cancer. Her mother, Genevieve Leon Guerrero.
It manifested itself in her left leg. So we had gone to Michigan for treatment, and we stayed there for a year, came home briefly, only to have the cancer continue to metastasize to other areas. What eventually took her life was the cancer migrating to her lungs, and it occurred multiple times in doing surgery and doing series of chemotherapy and surgery to also remove the cancer.
The treatment had exhausted its benefits and the cancer had returned. They would come home, and Natasha lived past a year.
She was able to have, her hair grow out and experience her life of being a teenager for a brief period of time.
Natasha is the namesake of the Natasha Protection Act, which prohibits smoking in indoor public spaces and workplaces. Leon Guerrero explains how the push for a healthier environment came to fruition.
We were living in New York, and New York at the time was very aggressive for no smoking in restaurants. Because she was lung compromised, so when you're lung compromised, just the migration of smoke right into your personal space would cause her to cough, and she would have a hard time breathing. So she goes, "Mom, I really want to have this," and then of course New York had no smoking, and if it was possible in New York, she goes, "Mom, could we have this in Guam?" And I said, yes, we are going to do this, and we're going to do this in Guam.
The mother and daughter would meet with Health Committee Chair, then Senator Lou Leon Guerrero.
We were accustomed to always having a picture of her and to giving it to the doctors that she would see, whether it was the surgeon, whether, it was just standard practice, I guess. And I think it was seeded for moms and dads and families who give this picture to their doctors so they won't forget who they are. So that was important.
In April 2005, a bill was introduced and received public hearing. There was overwhelming public turnout and support. Governor Felix Camacho signed the Natasha Protection Act into law in December of that year. It marked a major public health milestone for Guam, banning smoking at enclosed public places and workplaces. Natasha passed away on June 9, 2006. After her one-year death anniversary, Leon Guerrero thought about the importance of memories and the idea of what she calls a glorified scrapbook, Let Go and Let God, contained many of Natasha's stories and essays she wrote.
Many of her essays reflected a young girl whose reflection is that of the temporariness of life. And so it was quite mature, because when you are a child going through chemo, you know, you're not concerned about your cell phone, you're not concerned about meeting friends, you have to concentrate on breathing, being healthy, going to your next treatment, feeling not so great after, you know, having chemotherapy and all those challenges associated with that.
Fast forward to The Girl Behind the Law, Natasha's Clean Air Legacy, an 8-part film adaptation of the book, made possible by the Guam Cancer Trust Fund and the Get Healthy Guam Coalition, Partners in Prevention. Renee Vexler says when they applied to the Guam Cancer Trust Fund,
they wanted something more innovative, like an app or something more digital, not a book or a poster.
She connected with Leon Guerrero and they created something very intentional.
Digital Kitchen did a terrific job of capturing the heart and the spirit of the book. You know, like many things, after you read something, after you've watched a movie or a clip, even your Instagram, you know, these messages that are sent, but it's to take that extra leap of reflection.
The hopes for the grant team after the series is to continue to do more.
Extend perhaps more learning modules. I'm a professor at the University of Guam, School of Education, and so I've spoken to a few of my colleagues, and I know we have teachers in the Guam Department of Education who are at a mastery level of teaching, who are receptive and very open to creating teaching modules, and so trying to kind of leap forward to that, not just in healthcare, but also like, you know, this version of like young people can have a way of creating change, that you don't have to just be passive about it. You can be a catalyst for change.
If you would like to learn more about the project and watch the 8-episode film, visit www.thegirlbehindthelaw.com. Janagan Charfris, KUAM News.
All right, we have a story now about an upcoming event for island youth. Here's more on the Rise Teen Expo at the Agana Shopping Center.
Ready, 3, 2, 1, action.
The Agana Shopping Center is going to be bursting at the seams with positive energy on November 15th as the downtown mall plays host to Teen Expo, an event for island youth to come together, create, think, have fun, network, and take charge.
So the central theme of Teen Expo is essentially that we're bringing all the teen related activities, organizations, businesses, etc., all in under one roof so that teens can come and enjoy it and also see what's out there for them.
This event is really important in highlighting what teens really want and how they want to lead for the future, because from all these ideas of different careers, different plans for the future, it brings in together one cohesive idea of what we want to do, a better future that we want to strive for.
The theme of the event is a call to action for teens to collaborate in a fun, safe environment all their own. This isn't a pep rally, but school spirit extravaganza. This event is for teens, by teens.
So RISE stands for Reimagine, Innovate, Strive, and Empower. So the goal of this Teen Expo is to get our teens to come out, look at all the opportunities and resources that they have, and then really just see what's out there for them, and they can go in and take advantage of these resources and help them with their career, with their personal life, and also just trying to find what they like, what their passion is.
More than just a meetup, it's an experience for all high schoolers. A generational event with generational impact.
We have a car show going on in the parking lot. We have a live lip dub and live cultural dance.
College and career readiness, and we're also hosting a 5K for the sunset time. And then we also have the lip dub challenge where you can earn money. And we also have, if you also want to get stuff out of it, you can also, the school that has the most attendees can earn up to $1,000.
And you want to be prepared to be impressed because this year's Junior Achievement cohort will be showcasing their concepts and products.
It's also going to be the Junior Achievement's first trade fair of the season. So all the different JA companies are going to be having their product and promoting it basically.
This is only the second time Teen Expo has been held, with the inaugural event coming the year before the pandemic started. The best thing is that all teens are welcome from any school format. Your ideas, input, and energy are going to be part of what makes it great.
All teens from any school, homeschool, wherever can participate in this event, as we intended it for them.
And if you needed any more incentive to show up, represent your school, and have an amazing time, participation also gets you service learning hours.
So there's a QR code that's available for registration.
And at the event, you'll have to sign in at a check-in booth at one of the entrances. There you'll get a passport booklet. You have to go to all the organizations and fill it out, and then write and turn in a reflection paper to your designated service learning coordinator.
Now for a look at your world at home.
And now here's a serene view of the reef heading into Talafofo Bay.
Every day, there's something new to discover. Fresh styles, fresh finds, and fresh ways to make your home and family shine. So what's new at Kmart Guam? Ready to assemble furniture, stylish, affordable, and ready to take home today. Dream big with our new selection of mattresses. Comfort you can count on. Upgrade your home with the latest appliances, arriving now. Step out in style with new arrivals in men's and women's fashion. Fresh looks for every season. What's new? Everything. And it's all waiting for you only at Kmart Guam.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas, and the Guam Army National Guard. Live here, serve here.
We're back, everybody, and Giving Tuesday is coming up right around the corner. It's the first Tuesday after the holiday shopping season, and wait, when the season starts, you know Giving Tuesday is coming around, and we can all give wonderful people in our community a very, very welcome gift. So, those of us at the KUAM Care Force, and that includes everybody in the station, that includes you guys too. We're going to be at Kmart from 12 to 2 every single Tuesday throughout the month of November, collecting non-perishable food, toiletries, items for the little ones, for the babies, the infants, the toddlers. We are going to help members of our community who are going through something right now, and we really, really appreciate how you guys are pitching in, jumping in, meeting us at Kmart, and really filling that box for donations. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, you guys, for real. All right, Teen Expo is coming up. I did a story about it earlier, and this is going to be amazing. It is for teens, by teens at the Agana Shopping Center. It is on the 15th. Scan the QR code, kids, because you know why? Teenagers, you get service learning hours for participating, and it is really, really awesome. There are cultural performances. There's a car show. It is amazing. I did the interview and I was blown away at how incredible an event this is going to be. All right, holiday cheer boxes. Speaking of the central part of the island, right up the hill from Teen Expo, right? Over in Sahania, the mayor's office is collecting cheer boxes, just like we're doing for Giving Every Tuesday. See how all the news bites are connected tonight? They are collecting these cheer boxes so that they can take care of our neighbors, people that are going through tough times right now. So please make sure, if you are in the giving mood, consider swinging by the Senania Mayor's office and make your contributions. And thank you for the Mayor's office, hard-working staff over there in Central Guam doing good work. And then Inafamaulik, right? The very, very core concept that we as Guamanians have to our core, right? We don't leave our neighbors behind. And check it out, Inafamaulik, the organization, has mediator training if you would like to be a certified mediator. I know several people that have been through this training, very, very worthwhile in any field that you are in. I know realtors that have done it. I've known lawyers that have done it. I've known teachers that have done this. Good training, a good skill to have, so make sure to get involved. All right, birthday time right now.
Happy birthday on this 3rd of November to Jacqueline Munoz. Happy birthday blessings to Mali Jackie. Your familia is giving you all the love in the world. And Jackie, we hope you had a absolutely fantastic day today. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
Oh, no more paper, no more show, everybody. Please take your vitamin C. Have a pleasant Monday.
All right, well, it's a very busy month.
Yes.
Right? The last time we were here, we had Miss Carol Hinkle Sanchez.
Yes.
And
Miss Edna.
Yes. So.
Tapasio, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And since then, we've attended the Guam Defense Forum.
Yes.
And then we heard Admiral
Paparo.
Midas and Lasky.
Yes.
Joint Task Force in Micronesia. Speak at the Guam Chamber of Commerce.
That's correct.
Right. And then the draft bill was reintroduced by Senator Sabrina Salas.
Yes.
Manzanani. And then also we're in a government shutdown.
Well, hopefully, that's federal government though, right?
Right, yeah. So hopefully that, by the time this airs, we still won't be in a shutdown.
Yeah, hopefully that changes soon. A lot of that tends to surround, you know, lives of people, and, you know, it's always a difficult thing. I don't recall ever having it extend too long. They end up making decisions to to get it through.
Well, the last time we had a shutdown lasted 35 days in 2018 and 2019. That was also under, I think that was President Trump's first time in office. And then before that, it was 31 days, 95, 96 under President Clinton. So hopefully it doesn't last too long, and it does affect some services, you know, on the island. And, you know, I do know some people that got furloughed, so it does affect us. And we just hope that it doesn't last too long.
Right. And then the other thing is a lot of the the essential services, right? Those are continuing to happen regardless, right? And then because we're a veterans show, right? There's our veterans compensation and medical are continuing to be available to our veterans, to include our the benefit side, right, where you can still apply for your benefits, right?
Oh yes, and the website's still working.
Yes.
So that's good, and a lot of services are still available for our veterans. The vet center is still open. The clinics are still open.
Yep.
You still should be able to get your health care. And I know veterans got paid, because the compensation, that's, like we've always said, is always allocated a year prior.
Right. So even if they do start having the CRs or shutdowns or whatever, already the funding's in there, and if history's any indicator, it looks like 30 days or 35 days was the max, so it's at least 1 month, and they got 1 whole year to really figure it out. We don't want to wait that long, by the way.
Right, we don't. So we're going to talk about those few things. I know we always mention the boot camp, but we also want to talk about the impact that the nonprofit organization, the HMI that we're a part of, what the impact has been with veterans, you know, we're empowering them, right, to file their claim. And once they file their claim, then they have access to money they never had, health care, free medication, VA home loan. There's so many things that they have.
And you know, with that in mind, right, we have a lot of nonprofits out there that go and apply for grants to try to take care of our veterans out here, and you know, that's very noble, and it's nice to see that. And one of the things to really think about, right, is even though they're going in and putting in all these grants and a lot of paperwork, a lot of data, begging for the federal government to give us money, right? That's par for the course. I mean, we don't have any money, so they go beg. Now, if they would just concentrate on getting our veterans to, you know, come out and apply for their benefits. What are your data showing currently?
Well, so we've been tracking. So HMI from August 2024 to August 2025 helped over 337 veterans get their benefits. And what came with that was over $745,000 into the economy.
And that's just the increases, right? That's just since we encourage them and advise them how they can pursue their claims, empower them, right? That's what came with that.
Well, not increases. That's new claims, increases, appeals, right?
So that's everything, right?
That's everything, yeah.
Okay, but what I'm saying is if somebody had like 30% and we encouraged them and assisted them to say, hey, you know, this is how you have to pursue this. And you do that at the boot camp, right? The boot camp teaches them what the 38 CFR is.
Right.
And we've never had this on Guam. Nobody has ever done this, right? No. HMI was who put that together. And we go into the villages. So through the help of the village mayors, right? Yeah. That's how we're doing it. And of course, a lot of the folks that help us, right? Even like what we're doing today by talking about it, right? We're now allowing our veterans and the people out there who know veterans to say, hey, you have to go take care of this, because now more than ever is the best time to be a veteran, to file for your benefits.
Right. And so a lot of people don't know. I mean, maybe the money leaves the island, but
Right.
most of the time it stays.
Yeah.
But not only that, if a veteran is using their health care that they're enrolled in, if they don't use the CBOC, guess what? They're using care in the community. That's at what? FHP.
Right. And care in the community. Yeah, there almost quite a few of our. I mean, we have like over at the medical. What is it? Where they do all the X-rays and all.
Guam
Radiology. Yeah. And by the way, the owner of Guam Radiology, right, is a veteran, right? So it seems like, helping our veterans, helping ourselves, right? And here's the thing, right? These folks are hiring people. They're getting money because veterans went and filed their claims and have benefits.
GU Self-Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Plines hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self-Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
Did we invent crispy chicken? Nah, we just put it where it belongs, inside burritos and tacos, obviously. Extra saucy. 2 strips, huh? Look at that. Overachieving? Sure. Did you ask for it? No, but we did it anyway. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic. You're welcome.
That's been the push that we've been talking about for a long time. And many people can say anything they want about it, right? But you talked about $745,000, right, in 1 year. And that's just from the people that we were able to track or the people that came back, right? Because you don't charge for this service, right?
No.
And you don't get any money from the government,
No.
right? And the things that you've done for these folks within the year are things that, had there been an HMI before, these people would have gotten these benefits.
Right.
Had there have been the education process, these people would have gotten this, right? So this is quite important, because I think the numbers of awards coming to us to the island, which that's something we talked about at our task force meeting. We need to start learning what the numbers are that come in for veterans, right? Because some folks are keeping it quiet about how much grant funding they have, and that grant funding should be public information, and that information should entail what veterans can avail of, right? Because the last time I checked, when they give these monies to these organizations, it is their job to use those monies to take care of veterans.
Right.
And there could be some things that go on out there that we probably aren't aware of, right? And we really need to start doing that. But most recently, our symposium has brought out folks like Social Security, the Guam Legal Services. I know I'm going to miss some folks here. DISID, WestCare. Right. And by the way, these things have been there forever. But we haven't, as veterans and through our leaderships, gone out there to explore these things. And it just takes going out there and talking to them. Just setting up a venue for them to come and talk about their services. We almost couldn't get some of these folks off the stage during the symposium because the veterans were really asking a lot of questions about that.
Which was who we had last podcast was Elder Justice Center.
That's right, with Miss Carol.
And that's a free service.
Yep.
And I know a lot of veterans are fall into their range or who they help. So that was a really good resource that we shared and made it push it out there, because a lot of veterans don't know what services and resources are available for them.
And it's a new time, right? Our veterans need to continue to educate themselves. They, we're at boot camp, what now?
46.
So boot camp 40. So we've had 46 of these, and we usually have them once a month. And then actually we've had more. Those are the counted ones we have, right? That's the numbered ones, because we've done many boot camps at some of the
at some of the
businesses, right? And the point of the matter is, right, these folks get educated, and new information continues to filter through, and we continue to share that, so that this information gets out to our veterans, right, and their family members, because these are the types of things that veterans and their family members should be able to receive and have access to.
Right.
This is no hidden secret, right? And being able to present that and have people come and see it, right, is pretty amazing, and it's going to be helpful for the island, right? We complain about not having too many resources coming in here. Having the VA care for our veterans, which is what they're designed to do. So when our CBOC says, I can't take care of these guys. Yes, you can. You need to go ask for more help, right? And they do a great job up there, right? But could we do more, right?
Yes.
And do we have stories of things that aren't happening out here? Are there veterans that are being mistreated? Are there veterans that may need more help? And the answer is always yes. And that's something that, we have to continue. And I don't think we're going to see any shortage of need for us to get out there and help. If you're a veteran, or if you want to help veterans, nobody stops you from doing that. You can get out there, help. If you got some way of contributing, do so.
So let's go back to the Guam Defense Forum. So we heard Admiral Paparo. He was the guest speaker.
Yes.
And then we heard from Admiral Midas, Admiral Lasky, and kudos to the Guam Defense Liaison Office, Farah Tapasnia. They put that together at the Dusit. It was pretty crowded. I think there was over 300 people, and we got to listen to...
Was it more?
Maybe more.
Yeah, it could have been
because
more.
I was counting all the tables, because that's where we have our gala.
Yes.
Our Veterans Gala.
Yeah, I think it was more.
More? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was, every single table was filled.
Yes, just about. Yes.
And it was amazing to be there, to listen to, not everyone knows, what the numbers are, what's coming, what Guam's going to look like in 10 years. Yeah. And so to hear it from them, that was something, you should have been in the room. And I think it was recorded. We will ask Farah if it was recorded.
It was recorded, and they said they'll make it available. So.
Okay. But, we got to listen to, I think, the lunchtime brief for Honorable Daryl Marks.
Oh, yes.
He's the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Energy, Installations, and Environment. And I think our first break, everyone went straight to him after his speech. Everyone was looking for him. But when we spoke to Vera, she said this is just the first one.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, because the registration filled up really fast. It was open to everyone, and it was open up to organizations, government, community partners. And so we saw everyone there. We saw mayors there. We saw the senators there. And so this is just the start, she said, and the conversation continues. And I know we asked to be, part of the conversation, because like you've always said, once these service members come here, what if they, fall in love with the island? What if they get married and they decide to make Guam their forever home? They're veterans. And when they're veterans, where are all the resources for them? We need to be doing something now to plan for them, because if we're fighting right now in 2025 for more resources, what does that look like in 10 years?
Exactly. And there's going to be a whole lot more that's going to be happening. And we started talking about this 5 years ago when we first started out as a nonprofit with HMI.
Guam
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist. Over 20 years of experience.
And we just started talking about, hey, there's going to be this huge need to care for our existing veterans. Many veterans need some education about what's going on, and we really have to pay attention to that, right? And part of that says that there are going to be more services that we're going to need. There's going to be a need for more funding, and we see that already, right? We see that because many of these contractors that come to the island to do some work for the buildup are veterans, right? And they register in our system, and they require services. There was a time when they discussed that the potential for having contractors receive care from the Naval Hospital. And even with that, we're still, knocking on the door about the MOU that we are involved in with the VA and with the Department of Defense, or Department of War now. But we continue to seek these services out, and it's something that we do need, right? And yes, our veterans are going to need more services. There are going to be more veterans coming here. So I had an interesting conversation with General Hashimoto, right? He's retired now, but he works out of Hawaii, and he had an opportunity to speak to us. Might have been last year, earlier this year, and he was involved when we first started doing the industry forums. And one of the things he mentioned was part of the reason we're not focusing or talking about veterans is because our leadership at the time had not made that a priority. So that's part of the reason why we're a little bit behind. Now that we have the Defense Forum, right, we should continue to push for that. And because we're so far behind, we need to play catch up. Now, that also means that our veterans out there need to come out. They need to do some things, right? This is not just a handout where, oh, just because you're a veteran, I'm going to knock on your door and give you money. No, if you have some disabilities and you go to the VA and you file your claim, right, the VA will do an examination and they will determine whether you need to be compensated. They will also do things where if you are able to have these things, right, if you get a compensation, an award or a percentage, now you are in the system and they can start providing you medical care. And those are all things that our veterans really need to pay attention to and come out and do, because, again, if you don't come and file it, it's not going to matter for you.
Right. So I think it wrapped up with, did we make it for the second day? I'm trying to remember. It was only 2 days, right? I think it was 2 days.
Yes, 2 days. So I think on the second day we had Mayor Tony Chargalev talk a little bit about veterans. I don't think they expounded on it at that point. However, they did, get an earful about the things we should be doing for our veterans out here and increasing that, that whole thought process of, hey, we have veterans here, let's take care of them. And if we just use what HMI has done, no funding, no resources, we do this on our own. Yes. We get our veterans to donate into HMI to continue to do this. So in essence, veterans are taking care of themselves. We need to kind of help change that, right? There should be resources. And people have often heard me say, when Gita gave money to dogs and didn't give any money to veterans, right? I don't believe it was their intention to do that. But the outcome is clear. We gave money to dogs at gain, And by the way, one of the people on their board is a veteran who is a VSO. So I'm trying to understand, is his heart to take care of the gain dogs and not take care of the veterans? So if you happen to be a VSO, wouldn't it also be in your mind that, hey, we're taking care of dogs, that's a great thing. Couldn't we take care of veterans too? Where's your input and information, right? And again, Gita has the opportunity to do this again next year or when their next cycle comes out and really take care of finding a way to fund our veterans. And if they can't do it with whatever's in existence, right? And let's just say, right, the veterans put in a terrible grant request. They don't need this money. So it's fine, right? They missed it this time. We'll care for the dogs. They'll come back next time and probably give us more money. And any amount of money that they give us is going to be something that we do need, right? And we need more things out here. We don't need just license plates. I mean, we appreciate that. Anything they give us is great. And our veterans have been so humble and saying, oh, okay, thank you, we appreciate it. And we should.
We should do a podcast about that, about what the other, I know we're not a state, but what the other states
exactly
are
so
offering veterans. Like Texas is the most veteran-friendly state, right? Like, what do they offer them?
Yeah, I mean, like, and one of the easy ones to kind of just talk about is the state veterans home.
Right.
The VA pays for 65 to 75% of that.
70%.
Do our veterans not, are they not entitled to that? And if we're not, then that's fine. All you got to do is tell these poor unfortunate veteran souls out here, sorry guys, you guys are not real veterans. You don't require a state veterans home. And stop telling me about numbers, no matter who you are out there. Chino, California, Chico, California, and I just found Eugene, Oregon. The number of veterans they have is less than Guam. Their facilities are 10 times the size of our CBOC. And even if you added that expansion, it's still 10 times larger. But we have more veterans. So yeah, so we really need to stop telling me that it's numbers. And if it is numbers that you want to use, then that's fine. Let's go out to Chino and Chico and you show me that you have more numbers than me. Because right now what's showing is that they don't have it. And I'm not going out there to look for this. Our veterans from Guam who go to these places get to see it, and they feel so demoralized by the fact that, hey, how come Guam can't get this?
Right. We do want to go over a few of the important things for the draft bill. So currently, the governor appoints the GOVA director, right? Guam Office of Veteran Affairs Director, and they serve under her direction. And then that's the current law. And then the draft one, still appointed by the governor, but now requires advice of the Guam Veterans Commission before the appointment. So whoever the governor is considering for the director would go through the commission. The second one is current law, powers of the GOVA director. Current law administers and enforces veteran-related laws, plans, cemetery, and adopts rules. The new draft bill, same powers, but must also receive and consider policy recommendations of the commission. The third thing is Veterans Commission membership. Current law, broad representation, governor approves members, and at least 9 organizations represented. The draft law, specific categories for different branches of service, And then you would must be a nonprofit in good standing, and you would have a primary and alternate representation required and meetings quarterly. The fourth thing is membership process. So currently it describes process for the new organization membership applications forwarded by the GOVA director. The process is now embedded in the law, with the governor having approval based on the organization nomination. The next one would be meetings. So current law, they meet monthly, and draft would have it quarterly, or they can meet via teleconference. And then grievances and oversight. Today's law, no statutory mandate for grievance handling, but the draft bill, the commission is now designated as a channel for community grievances. The GOVA director must respond in writing within 4 weeks. So
a lot of folks are putting time into this, but maybe we could bring out the truth. So when we talk about that, I'd like to say that when we first started the Veterans Task Force, right? This was put together because the commission was not meeting as regularly as they could. Whatever reason that might have been is up for debate. But let's just understand that that's why we were created as a task force. We came together without any, oh, you need to be 3 feet tall, you need to be like, female or male, and you were half army, half, all those little nuances that they felt were so important at the time. So right now we said, veterans come, let's meet, and we got together. We got together at the committee chair's office at his invitation. I don't believe he's ever used that when he was running for re-election, but he should have, because he took part of ensuring that his committee had us meet there. And I'm sure there was opposition by some other folks who didn't want to see the good things that were happening out of